All right, guys. So anytime I find myself in a community or in a group of society, I like to ask myself a couple of questions so I know who is who. So today, here on Labote YouTube channel, I'm here with one guy who goes by the name Nana P. If you are looking for someone who is the best MC here in Hamburg, I think he's the only one. So I'm here to have a conversation with him so that we get to know what is involved if someone is an MC and what they does. So Nana P,
Yeah,
it's nice to have you in the house.
nice for having me.
Oh, okay. I must confess, the first time I saw you was, I think it was at your wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in town and normally I don't go to places that I'm not invited. So
Yeah.
one of my friends called me and said, "Oh, there's this guy that is having a wedding. Oh, so let's just pass." So I'm like, me, I don't go to places that
Yeah.
I'm not right. So I came there, I realized that it was a nice wedding. The wedding was lit. And then the second time I think I was on a date and then I saw you I think Bampiano, you were the chef there or something. I think that was my second experience.
Oh,
That
wow.
was when I saw you last. Then I think after that, then I saw you a couple of programs where I realized you were doing your own MC thing. I'm like, oh, he's an MC. So, and I say today, dear, I have to bring you on Lapote YouTube channel so that everybody will get to know you. So, for those who don't know you, just tell us who is Nana P and why do you decide to use the name Nana P?
Yeah, okay. Nana P is a talented guy. You know, I do a lot of things, but
Okay.
maybe you knew the MC side of me.
Side, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll delve deeper there.
Okay.
I'm Nana P, I'm a Ghanaian, and then I'm not so long in Europe. Like, let's say 7 years in Europe.
Yes,
Yeah. And then I started this work in Ghana. That was 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, 2009. That is where I started my radio journey. I was the youngest presenter at that time. I was 19 years.
In what radio
Kumasi,
station?
in Koso Radio.
Oh, okay.
That's where I started from. And then I went to Gem FM. And I've in Fox FM as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Pastor Jeremiah. He's in Ghana. Thank you very much, wherever you are. Pastor Jeremiah.
Pastor
He's
Jeremiah.
now in Shore FM.
Napi says thanks to you.
Yeah, he taught me how to play pitch spinning with a CD as a DJ. He taught me that, and then I worked in Gem FM and in Koso Radio, and then I did some documentary for Bishop Charles Aljanasari, Youth.
Okay.
That was Youth Explosion in 2009. That same year, and then he came on TV3, and then the name blew up. I also did some acting. Miracle Films.
Okay.
Yeah, so director, God bless you. Bishop Charlton, the Genocide, God bless you. And then with the MC stuff, it started when I started the radio, because as a radio presenter, if you're working, people hear your voice. But I think in our time, this Facebook Live was not too much like now.
Fine, yeah.
So they'll hear the voice, but they don't know the man behind the voice. Sometimes they come to the radio station or they'll call like, I want this person to come and MC my wedding. I want this person to come and MC my birthday. So it started from there in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, it looks like you're an amateur when it comes to this. So it looks like it's something you've been doing even before you came to.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not, I didn't start it here.
That's why we normally do this kind of interviews, because I know there are some people, maybe they start stuff like this because they feel like it's something, they have it in them, and all of a sudden they start. But based on what you said so far, it's like it's something you've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
Guys, it's good we have that out of the way. So I want to find out. I know you've done a couple of events when it comes to this MC thing. But can you tell us some of the programs that you've been like? Whether is it you MC when it comes to from weddings? I've seen you do an MC in a wedding. I think the last one I witnessed was that of Man Like Stunner, and I think also there was this program here, Youth Adoration.
Yeah.
There too, I saw you doing an MC. But aside that, which other events have you MC'd at?
Okay. Here in Europe, Youth Adoration. I think I started from 2018 till date.
Oh, okay.
I MC that show, and then a lot of weddings. I do weddings, I do birthdays, I do launching of maybe CDs or books.
Okay.
I do sometimes moderate symposium.
Okay.
Yeah. And also sometimes a lot. But what I don't do is funeral.
Funeral. Why don't you do funeral? I guess it's all part of the job. So if you say you don't do funeral, why don't you do funeral?
One thing about funeral is number one, it comes with this heavy custom traditions. You understand? And then I'm not so deeper into it. Even the Tree language, I started learning Tree when I was 10.
10. Oh, okay.
So my nonchalancy was those stuffs too much.
That's to say 7 years. You are not Ashanti.
I'm an Ashanti. I come from Assin in the central region, but my upbringing, my mother gave birth to me and then she came here in Germany.
Oh, okay.
So I lived with my aunt, and my aunt's husband was working with the deaf and birth registry. So he was a Ga. So he didn't speak Tree.
Okay.
So we were speaking Ga and then Tree in the house.
Okay.
10 years, unfortunately, she passed out to come to Kumasi. That was where I came to learn Tree.
And so do you speak Ga?
I speak Ga a little bit. In Ga, few.
Listen, look at you. You live with someone who speaks Ga for so many years at home, and
10 years.
Saying your guy is
10 years. My
Come
Ga,
on, man.
look,
You can't do that. You can't do that. The Ga community will be happy if they hear this.
No. But the thing is, I grew up in Kumasi. From 10 years, I grew up. So I got a Tree and then the English as well. So the guy, I wasn't speaking it in Kumasi, so you can imagine.
Okay.
To match me, like, for example, when you come here in Europe, the main language is Deutsch.
Yeah.
If you don't take care, you lose your English. Because why? A lot of people, majority of the people are speaking Deutsch. That is the language spoken here. You have to learn. If you want to get abreast and get well integrated, you have to learn the language. And by you learning the language, if you don't get people to speak the English with 1 or 2 words and some of your constructions goes. So that is what happened to me. I was speaking the Ga, but when I got to Kumasi is an Ashanti, typical Ashanti region. There's nobody going to speak Ga unless you get yourself abreast with the Ga community. So that was why my Ga faded a little bit, but I understand 100%. Anything you speak in Ga, I understand. But that's that I can't speak fluently like before.
No worries. The Ga community will spare you for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So So speaking of which, like you said, so with the Dutch language, what are some of the things that you consider before you decide to take an event or go and officiate in an event?
One thing about me is number 1, respect. And then number 2, I have to know the kind of event you would want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you have to book me as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You call me and then you speak to my manager and they will book. I do relationships as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So actually you have a manager that you work with?
Yes.
Well, I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that normally. So are you saying that all the people that have booked you, all the event that you've been, it's always been through your manager?
Yeah. A lot of them have been through my manager. When I was starting, I was doing everything by my own.
By your own.
Yeah, but now you have to call my manager. You see if the day I've been booked or not. Because as I'm sitting here, as I'm speaking to you, I've been booked till March 2024. Okay. I've been booked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of being booked, so I want to find out if there's one thing that I know I always hear about the African community. I'm going to see in chat. You understand? We don't pay, and like sometimes people feel like, oh, they want to be seen out there. And so I want to think for somebody like you that you've been doing this thing all the way from Ghana, when someone called you, and it's got nothing to do with money, do you offer your service? Because I'm not going to say, my artist says, some people say, oh, Nana P is always here, there doing this program, but he doesn't get paid because Ghanaians don't get paid. So I want to find out from you, do you actually get paid for all this gig? Because I don't see the point if you have to. We know here in Deutschland, everything is time. Time is money. So do you just move about doing this thing because you for the fun of it, because you want to be seen out there?
That is why our people come in here. Number 1, I'm a man. I'm a husband. I have to take responsibility of my family.
Okay.
So I'm not going to spend like 9 hours or sometimes a lot of hours without getting nothing from it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then those people talking, you don't get anything or something like that. Sometimes the money I get in a month for what I do is the money to go and work for a whole 8 hours. That's what they get. You understand? So if I don't get anything from it, I wouldn't have done it. If it is something to do with fame, I would just sit down in my house and do anything. I know how to be famous. No.
But like I said, I'm asking all this thing here because sometimes I say that's one of the reasons we do
paid.
This thing. And I'm not for Kasa. But you say you get paid. Do you have any specific amount you charge? Because if someone is doing an event and they call you and they give you €100 and you are there for 9 hours, it's like they are giving you €10 plus some coins.
Yeah.
And looking at what entails in this job, personally for me, I don't think that match up to the job that is involved. So tell me, from what's the minimum price someone has ever paid you for an event, and what's the highest price you've ever taken on an event?
I can't disclose it here, the prices, but I don't take anything. I don't take anything less than 200 euros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't take anything less than 200 euros. But the thing is, sometimes it depends on where I'm going to do the program. When I do it outside, the price is different. When I do it indoors, the price is different. When I do it outside Germany, the price is also different. You understand? And then when I do it even now, when I do it even indoors, the person has to take care of my transportation in and out.
Okay.
And then make sure I'm there on time.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I don't do anything by my own. So if you are ready to provide those services, I'm in. If you're not, don't worry. A lot of people want to book me.
Okay.
When I'm going outside, you have to take care of my either train, flight, or bus.
Okay.
You pick me at the station, take me to my hotel,
Okay.
plus my additional charges.
Oh, okay.
So you have to take into consideration all these things before I come.
Okay. Like before I started this thing, I said people talk.
Yes.
So do you mind telling us on which, just mention one or two events that the people came to pick you, offer you these services like you're saying? Is it just want to know?
From last year, a lot of events, lots.
A lot of events.
Weddings, especially weddings. Yeah, weddings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weddings.
Oh.
Bremen, Amsterdam, Hanover, Mannheim, a lot
of places.
A lot.
Oh, okay. So let's just say, what makes you an exceptional or different from other MCs that we have there? Because so far as I'm concerned, I feel like sometimes when it comes to the African community here, people go with what they have. I mean, the choice. Because I can tell you for a fact, it's not a lot of people that even do the MC job here. So someone like, it's not a lot of people that are into the business. So it's just only Nana P who is it. So let's just pick Nana P. So like I asked, what makes you different from the other MCs that we have out there?
I am. There are a lot of good MCs here, but one thing about myself is I am time conscious, and I don't joke with my work. When I'm working, I'm working. Now, I am very serious. I don't just wait for that day before I come and get master of ceremony. Now, anything that happens at that day, you are in charge of it. So I take care of everything. Food, sound, light, cake, everything. I don't just go there on that day, give me the program outline, and I just run the program. No, I don't do that. And by the grace of God, I'm also spontaneous. If I need to do something and then on the program and then it's not there, and then we have to wait for the program to be done, I just create something to make the people not feel bored. And I'm very, very particular with my time too as well. I meet with the people who are doing the program. I ask you, what program do you want? How do you want your wedding to be? If you tell me that is what I want my wedding to be, we'll draw a program outline according to how you want your wedding to be. So I think that is one of the things that make me exceptional, and then people will like to book me.
All right, guys. I won't say much. Like I said, this is Labute YouTube channel, and this is one of the reasons why we have this interview. So, like I'm saying, I'm sitting here with the one and only Nana P, master of ceremonies here in Hamburg, and he's giving us a reason, or he's telling us why he's different or why he's an exceptional when it comes to this business here in Germany. So, in case you are thinking of booking an MC out there to do your program there, you just know where to look. Nana P is the man. So Nana P is still with you. So then now I want to find out, have you worked for foreigners? Let me say that, because just outside the Ghanaian community, just say maybe a German having a program and they call you to MC. Have you worked for?
Yeah, I've worked with Germans and I've worked with Turkish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which event was that?
Wedding.
Surprised that just wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it looks like for most of the programs that I see you do, it's like I said, I've seen you done a wedding, like I said before, and an event aside the Youth Adoration. Is there any other program you've done internationally?
Yeah. I went to Amsterdam to do a 2-day workshop.
Okay.
With professionals, like young professionals.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there and then I hosted that one too as well. Sometimes we do workshop because people here, the young ones here, would want to do something, especially they get confused. So we like that. Sometimes we have professionals in IT, professionals in the teachers, professionals in a lot of institutions here in Europe. So we motivate and then encourage the upcoming ones. That your inborn quality that God has given to you, you can use it and also upgrade upon it so that it can also feed you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now I want to ask you, are you doing this MC thing on the full time?
I'm not doing it on a full time.
So it's more like should we call it a side hustle or a side job?
It's a side job. It's not a full time job. It's a side job.
Okay, so tell me, so far as I'm concerned, I know you're a family man, and how are you able to fuse the two? Because when it comes to doing this program, we know most of this event take place on the weekend, and we all know once you have a wife and you have a kid, they want your attention as well. So how are you able to balance that, especially if your wife is not somebody who understands that you have to be out there and always wants you for the weekend? How are you able to balance this?
Yeah. When I was starting, it wasn't easy. You have to, as a family man, my wife had to support and also understand before. So she came to understood it because at the end of the day, it was bringing something on the table. And then number two, there are a lot of programs that I go with them. So like a small holidays that will go together, especially when I'm going outside.
So do they pay for your wife's ticket as well?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes
I like the job already.
Yes. There are a lot of scenarios that she comes inside and I tell them I have to come with my wife. So they will have to book a hotel with a two how do I say it? With a husband and wife, like a family hotel for me. Yeah, then we pay the transportation and then we go.
What if you find yourself in a situation whereby you have a program to attend, and your wife was like, no, they really need you around this time, so you just have to put it aside? What do you do in such a situation?
There are a lot of programs that I've cancelled because of family. Sometimes you can't do without it because the family is first. The job is there. The job will come all the time, but the family, there are certain things, if your presence as a man or as a head of the family is not there, it's not good. So there are a lot of situations that I have to cancel and then be there for my family.
But somebody would say the money is important as well. So
money is important, but family is important.
All right, guys.
Now, why do you want the money?
For the family.
Because of the family.
But the family will not be there if there's no money.
Is it what?
The family won't be there if there's no money.
That's what I'm saying. There are emergencies. When it comes to emergencies, that one you can't do anything about it. But if it's not emergency, sometimes they just don't want you to go. So that one, it's not. Then you just have to explain. I have to be there. This and this and this. Then you go. But when it's emergency, then there's nothing you can do about it. You have to quit and then you do it.
So Nana P, I want to find out. You know, this anything that we do, you say kids pick up things based on what they see, and I'm sure as we're having this program or as we've been doing this MC thing, there are a whole lot of youths out there that are seeing you like, oh, I also want to do this thing that Nana P is doing. You know, that is why from the beginning I try to find out do you really make something out of it? We have a whole lot of youths out there these days that they say they are doing music, and you ask yourself, are they even actually making something out of this music? Yes, and so what would you say to someone who's been watching you and I want to emulate what you're doing, I also want to be a master of ceremony?
Yeah, I would say learn more. Look at a lot of us in my stage. I still learn. I still learn from my seniors. I still learn from even someone who is starting because I'm a person who is very, very observant. When I come to a place and then I see that you're doing what I do, I just keep quiet. If I'm not on a bill, I keep quiet and then see what you're doing. At the end of the day, I'll pick something, I'll add it to mine and then modernize it. You understand? It's simple. You just have to have the passion for the work. If you don't have passion, forget.
And that's the problem. For most people who want to do things these days, they look at the more money aspect. So you can realize the passion is not even there. And then they're doing what they do. Everything just starts.
If you don't have the passion, forget it. You have to have the passion and the determination. Yeah, the passion and the determination. And also one thing that has made me relevant in the society is consistency. Yes, it's very difficult to be consistent. But if you work on it and determine and you know where you're going, you can do it. Yes.
Speaking of consistency, you said something about time cautious. I know there's this thing that we have in the African community. They always say Ghana time,
African man time.
So in a case where someone has booked you for an event and they tell you the event starts 9 o'clock. Now you being time conscious, you are there exactly 9 o'clock. Now the event starts 5 hours after the time they give you. Now they expect you to stay more. In such a situation, how do you deal with it?
I know my people and I know the way they are. There are a lot of countless issues because sometimes I prepare for that.
Okay.
Because I know that they will tell me, oh, we'll be there. And I said, I've been there before. I've done this for long. Oh, it will shock you, it will shock you. But at the end of the day, so I prepare myself for all these things so it doesn't get it to me.
So what it means is sometimes even when they give you a time schedule, you don't go exactly the time because you don't.
No, I'm there. When I say because I have to be there, but as I told you earlier on, I'm in charge of everything.
Okay.
Because anything, if I don't go and check that the food is there, the light is there, the cake is ready, when it gets to that time, it will distract me. So with the hall and then everything are owned by the whites.
Okay.
You understand? With them, their time is 100%.
Exactly.
So I go and I make sure that everything is in place. The DJ is there, the sound is there. Without DJ, how can I MC even work?
Yeah.
You understand? For my time, I have to be there and see. But sometimes the couples delay. That is the main problem. The guests will be there. Everybody will be there. But the couples, that is where the time lies. So I'll entreat upon the up and coming couples that they have to stick with their time. Especially sometimes the fault comes from the ladies.
I know you were going to say that.
Oh, yes. I'll speak the truth.
No, but you know they need a short time. No,
the makeup, somebody can do the makeup for 1 hour or 2 hours and they'll raise everything. Do a new one.
I mean, that's
time delaying.
That's that's the most important day for them. So
yes,
at least,
I understand 100%. And also one thing that also delays time is the after church photography.
Hey, now you are talking to us.
Yes.
Photographers.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It delays the time to the hall. Because look at something. Sometimes the people comes with you in the church. They'll wait. Sometimes it starts at, let's say, 1. Okay, let's say 1. 1 in the afternoon. Then the church will close around 4. And the reception has to start like 5 or let's say 6. But because of the photography, they'll come around 8.
But this thing you're saying, I think that is where the wedding planner comes inside. So I think this is the fault of the wedding planner, because if they keep to time and they tell you, like, if they keep to time, it should be possible for that maybe after the church, maybe the photography times takes like 1 hour or something like that.
The wedding planner will do his or her work very good, but sometimes it depends on the couples. Now, if they say they're not going to move, what can you do? You can't do anything about it.
Well, I just believe you are there for work. So personally, in a case like this where it takes this long, so you're going to charge extra aside what you paid, or you still stick to the amount of money?
Sometimes they know it, and then they respect themselves, and then they add it automatically. Yes.
Some people not
there have been a lot of incidences that I do after even what I've charged, they add more to it because of the way I handled the event. You understand? So I'll entreat upon the couples, especially. I'll entreat upon the couples that please, after the church, before you go to the venue, you can get a place around the church or close to the hall, so that you can take the photography, so that you can make the time. Because at the end of the day, when your time is perfect, you get a great reception outside there. Oh, I came to Lapote's wedding and everything was intact. You understand? So it is like that.
So aside what you've just mentioned right now, tell me, what else are some of the difficulties that you encounter when it comes to working with clients?
With the difficult, sometimes the parents of the bride, the parents of the groom, they have their own way of the program.
I said they've drawn their own program already.
They've drawn. Sometimes you call, they'll come and tell you. Make sure this and you call this guy to come and do this. No. Why did you do this? You have to have patience. This work, if you don't have patience, forget, my brother, you can't do it. No. You have to have patience. Because you meet people from walks of life, a lot of people. Some people, ideology is different. The way they understand things are very different. So if you are not patient, you can't do it. You can't do it. You have to stick to how you want it, because sometimes when you do anything aside what the couples want, it's their day, and then it happens once in a lifetime. So you have to make sure their needs are met. That is why when you book me for MC, I ask you, how do you want your wedding to be? So I make sure I go according to what they want, because for all you might know, at that day present, what is going on, they will not see it. When they go to the house and they watch the video, that is where they'll call in and they'll thank you, because you really made what they wanted. So you stick to the plan, as in what they want, and then you deliver for them. Other people, you shouldn't mind them. You just have to be patient with them. It's very difficult, no two ways about it. Sometimes they will tell you they are hungry, they want to eat. If you don't give the go ahead, they can't go eat. You understand? I've met stubborn guys that I went to a place. The dinner, the food was not ready, but they even took their plate, and then they were eating. They even packed. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Sometimes let me also take this opportunity to encourage, or this not even encourage, to educate some of the guests who come to the wedding. Please, if you are going to any wedding, please eat at home before you go.
All right, I guess they are listening.
Because it makes me look like, did they come to the wedding because of the food?
Yeah, exactly.
No. By the grace of God, everybody have a better food at the house.
No, but I think I would like to step in that when you put it that way, when someone is doing an event and they invite you, probably someone is not coming direct from home. Maybe they are coming from somewhere and they're like, oh, okay, let me slash through or let me pass by and go to this location. So probably they're not coming from. So it's not everybody.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but for example, me, I've done the work for long.
Okay.
Anytime I'm going to an event, I eat before I go. So even if I go from morning to evening and I don't eat, I'm okay.
Let me ask you this: have you ever had this experience whereby you are working at an event and then you're officiating everything? Then when it's time for you have some food to eat, and they'll tell you, so, oh, the guests have finished all the food. Have you ever had that?
Countless. That's why it's not a problem for me, because I've matured. I've grown past that. That's why I want to educate them on that. You understand? Look, the reason why the food is made on that day is for you to feel comfortable, and at least the time that you spend there, you get something to sort yourself. Number one, wedding foods are not food we eat to get satisfied.
Okay.
Wedding food are not food that you have to put your hope on, because when it fails you, then people start talking.
Yes.
That is why I'm saying that anytime you are invited to a wedding, make sure that at least you satisfy yourself before you come.
Oh, okay.
Now, by the grace of God, people are also upgrading themselves by doing finger foods.
Okay.
You know, by the time you go to the hall, there are some finger foods, pastries on the table.
Before
the main meals, at least you get it before what you'd get to the main food. So please, anytime that you are going to an event or a wedding, please make yourself a little bit fine before you get there, so that you don't complain.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm here on Labote YouTube channel, and I'm here with Nana P, the master of ceremonies here in Hamburg. And international.
Yes, international.
Like you said it all. So if you go to an event, you've reached the peak at which you want to reach with this business.
No.
And how far do you intend to go?
We are work in progress. We are putting things together very soon. I want to put people in suspense very soon. There's a good news coming, and then I'm about to also start my radio. Ever since I came to Europe, I've not started radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so watch out. The Halal show is coming on Radio Top Africa very, very soon. So watch out for that. And also, there are a lot of things about Nana P people would want to know.
No, okay.
Let's keep on praying. I'm telling you, we'll start from somewhere, and then by the grace of God, we'll get to where we want to get.
Yes. Amen. I know you sing as well, but I think that's a story for another day. I want to find out. So ever since you started this program, to like, what's the minimum audience you've ever worked with, or depending on the occasion?
Yeah, depending on, from weddings, I think it's 200.
That's your minimum.
Yeah.
And what's the highest audience you've ever? No, I mean, as in.
I've done stadiums.
Stadium.
Yes.
Which stadium was it?
Accra Sports Stadium, Kumasi Sports Stadium.
Which program was it? Who was playing?
That was a Christian show.
Christian show. Which year? Which Christian church? People like to know.
That was I think 2010.
2010.
2010.
Okay.
Yeah, 2010. There was Mokpa. Yeah.
Okay.
And then here in Hamburg, Youth Adoration also carries a lot of people.
People, okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me a certain number, or like even with the stadium, like the capacity?
I don't know the because Kumasi Sports Stadium, I don't know. I think it takes like, I don't know, if 44,000.
Was it full when you were
full?
when you were okay?
It's full. By the grace of God, God has given us this courage and this confidence. We any type of crowd will sail through.
Oh, okay, all right. Like, we cannot use one day to cover everything that has got to do with the man that is sitting here. He's a jack of all trades. He sings, he does. I think he even play instruments, right?
Yeah.
We'll come if there's time and we happen to have him here again. We're going to talk all about that. But one more thing I want to find out before we go. You said something about you having a manager that I didn't know about. So in case somebody wants to contact you, how can they reach you through your manager?
You can contact me. I can give you my number.
Yeah.
And I'll link you to my manager straight up.
Oh, okay, all right. So you guys just heard it from the man on the P. We're going to make sure that we put his numbers out there so that you can have it. So anytime you are looking for an MC, I mean, I have witnessed events that he has worked at, and trust me, he's good at what he does. Sometimes if there's no even musician, he will sing, cry, and add to it. So you get one thing, you're going to get a double, a singer too as well. So, Nana P, I just want to say thanks to you to come into the show. Yeah, okay. So once again, this is Labote YouTube channel, and anytime you want to have such interviews like this, just subscribe to our channel. You're going to have more of these. Once again, I want to say thanks for watching. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.
If you too good, make a do song for the man.